baseball over the last 2 seasons. He replaces a guy who really didn't need replacing in Colome. But I really do think the White Sox are poised to be coming out of the American League this year.
I agree.
100%.
I think they're a top three team in the league. I think it's the Dodgers. I think it's the Padres, and I think it's the White Sox. Not in that order. Just those three teams. I think those are the cream of the crop right now, especially with the
That
moves the
is
White Sox and the Padres made. I
that is
think
the big question right now. Is there a team that can dethrone LA? Because LA was clear and above the better team in baseball all of last year.
Padres were giving them some fits last year.
They were,
Padres were in the
and
red zone.
they just added two aces to their staff. Dude. Next year when they get Clevenger back, their starting staff is going to be filthy. You got Blake Snell, Yu Darvish, Chris Paddock, Mike Clevenger, and Mackenzie Gore, who I wanted the Cubs to get in that trade for Darvish, but they didn't even get shit. They're gonna be unbelievable.
But
The
who in
Clevenger. Sorry, go ahead, Blair.
who in the AL like would be better than the Sox? I know the Yankees, but I don't know. They kind of. I wouldn't be too scared of the Yankees if I was the White Sox.
That's the
Really.
thing. I don't know.
Like in the
Honestly, I don't know
AL.
who. I don't know who's going to compete with them. I think the White Sox probably come out and they're in the World Series this year out of the AL. I think they're a more complete team than any other team in the AL, like especially the Yankees.
The Yankees. Another thing to note about the Yankees, DJ LeMahieu is still a free agent right now.
Right.
We
Yeah.
don't know if he's going to go back to the Yankees or if he's going to go somewhere else. I could see personally. I think the Nationals have a very good chance to pick up a guy like DJ LeMahieu. They have a hole there at second base with Howie Kendrick aging, and stuff like that. I believe they had Brian Dozier there last year. Um, yeah, the Yankees. Gary Sanchez is not what he used to be. He hit well below 200 this last year. Strikeout machine. They were playing their backup catcher in the playoffs most of the year.
Well, and
I
Judge and
agree.
Stanton can never stay healthy.
Right, and Stanton and Judge can't. These guys are giant men. They like their bodies can't always deal with gravity like the rest of us normies can. Um, the Yankees are the Yankees, like Blake said. They're worth noting. The Astros, they're losing Springer,
Yeah.
even though he's still a free agent. They're not going to be the same old team. Blue Jays they're on the rise, but I don't think that they're on the same level that the White Sox are. The White Sox got someone at every position right now.
That's what I'm saying. That's why I think they're the favorite out of the American League for sure.
Hendricks. Um, yeah, and then so we'll see what happens with that. There's going to be some opportunities arising on both the Cubs and the White Sox. The White Sox need a DH. They've got guys in the minor leagues that can fill that. My biggest thing for the Sox is I want to see Yerman Mercedes play on the team next year. This guy has been waiting. He's 26 years old. He has paid his dues in the minor leagues. Whenever he comes up in spring training, everyone's always raving about his bat and how he hits everything and every spot of the ballpark. I want to see him get a chance. If I had money on it, though, they're going to end the year with Andrew Vaughn playing on that team. And boy, I cannot wait to see him in a White Sox uniform. That
That's
guy
the thing,
rolls out of
dude.
bed
Do
hitting.
you even need your Mercedes? He's not even going to play.
He could be a DH. I mean,
Trade
he's
him.
clearly not worth much as a fielder, but his bat is just incredible.
DH, like, there's not a spot for him. I'm like, I can't even say it because there's like nowhere for him to
There's a
play.
spot. We used Encarnacion as our DH primarily all of last year, and we launched him out of a trebuchet.
But if you get
So,
but if you get Andrew Vaughn up, him and Jose Abreu are gonna like interchangeably like switch from time to time as DH, aren't they?
yes, Abreu is a much better fielding first baseman than he gets credit for. He had a much better year in the field last year. So if I had to bet, I would say that the most of the year is going to be started by Jose Abreu at first base, much like the Cubs mostly play Anthony Rizzo at first base. It's a staple as of right now. The DH spot, I believe, will be used for guys getting call-ups from the minor leagues that they need to take some at-bats. It's going to be Mercedes. It's going to be Vaughn. You might see Sebi Zavala there. Everyone's going to get sort of an opportunity. Now, they have two catchers on the roster right now with Grandal and Collins. Collins was not here last year because, as everyone knows, McCann was one of the league's best backup catchers. He's gone. He went to the Mets, so now we have this young Zach Collins that we used the sixth overall draft pick We're going to see if he can take the next step. This will be a very defining year for Zach Collins if he's going to live up to that draft pick.
Devin, I have two questions for you.
What's
The
that?
first one is, what's going on with Michael Kopech? Like, what have you heard recently? If he comes back, where is he going to slide into in that rotation? And two, what's Garrett Crochet's role looking like for this season?
So Michael Kopech, he is fully healthy from his Tommy John surgery back in 2018. Um, he could have pitched this year. He was going through a divorce. He got married and divorced within 6 months. Um, it sounds like it was a lot of stress for him to be dealing with. So he ended up opting out of the COVID season um, for personal reasons. He will be here this year by all accounts, and he will be ready to pitch. Now, going back to your second question, um, which was what was your second question again? Help me out.
Garrett Crochet, what do you think his role is
Okay.
going to be? I've seen him projected to be in the bullpen. I don't know if you're just going to keep him in the bullpen all year, or are you going to put him in the starting rotation?
Everything
Not
I've
you,
heard
but
and
the
what
White
I've been
Sox.
reading is we plan on putting him in the bullpen again this year. He is a guy that dominated from there in his rookie season. Everyone knows he came up for the playoff run last year, throws over 100 miles an hour. He did go down with a scary elbow injury in his throwing elbow. Everyone was very worried that it was going to be Tommy John, and it ended up not being Tommy John. But the question remains, you know how it is with these young pitchers. If you haven't had Tommy John yet, and you're starting to show elbow signs, it's usually not a good thing. If I
Especially
had
if
to
you throw
put money on
102.
it, if I had to put money on it, he's going to start in the bullpen as a specialist setup guy who throws
Hmm.
over 100 miles an hour against lefties coming out of the pen. He's gonna wind up needing surgery because he throws so damn hard, and we're probably going to be looking at about another year and a half, 2 years before he can be fully relied upon. Now, I think the real plan for him is to switch him to a starting pitcher. If we see an injury in the starting rotation, I think the first guy you can expect to see is Garrett Crochet. There's nobody else that's more qualified. He was a starting pitcher in college, and they want him to be a starting pitcher. Um, but they said the same things about Carl Edwards Jr. On the Cubs, and we all saw how that happened.
I've seen Crochet, and he's way better than Carl Edwards Jr. Um,
He's a little bit thicker too.
yeah, a little bit. So, what is the White Sox starting rotation looking like, 1 through 5?
Well, the ace is obviously Giolito. It go 1 through 3 is already set. It's Giolito, Keuchel, and who's number 3? Most likely Kopech. Now the bottom two, I think you can expect a combination of Cease, Lopez, and possibly a Trevor Bauer. Trevor Bauer's been retweeting the White Sox more than any other team lately, but we'll see what happens with that. We got Jimmy Lambert coming back from Tommy John surgery. People thought he was going to be a really good pitcher. I'm forgetting a name. Lance Lynn. We just traded for Lance Lynn. Lance Lynn will be our third pitcher next year. The first three goes Giolito, Keuchel, Lance Lynn. The next three, a combination of Cease, Lopez, and Kopech. There will be an odd man out. If I had to put money on it right now, it would be Ronaldo Lopez. I think there's still value there for Lopez if he does get moved from the rotation as a relief pitcher because he still has a very lively arm. It's just a matter of throwing strikes with him, unfortunately.
Honestly, at this point, I would just trade Lopez. I just think he needs to change the scenery. I think you guys have so many arms available that he's not even getting an opportunity to pitch.
There's not a lot of value there. He's never really put up decent numbers for an extended period of time in the major leagues. So I'm not sure there's a whole lot the White Sox would get for a guy like Ronaldo Lopez.
Are you even looking to get a bunch of anything like a big return? I just don't even know if it's like worth wasting a roster spot with him at this point.
Guys with that like that need to change of scenery. Sometimes you see them getting swapped for another guy in an organization that might need a change of scenery. But other than that, I really don't think you can expect to see too much of a return from that. I think they will, like I said, try to use him in a role somehow. If it's not a starting pitcher, they'll probably use him in the bullpen. But this has been, I mean, they've given this guy every opportunity to succeed at this point. If he's not going to put up good numbers, he does not need to be here. There are too many good young arms in that system that are ready to pitch. That's just how I see it. The Cubs
Over
are in my opinion, the Cubs are in a very similar place that the Blackhawks are in. They have some good talent on the roster still, but they're still. The goal should remain if you aren't winning a World Series, your goal should be first overall draft pick. That is the only way to success in sports. You need to build through the draft. You need young players that have proven they can succeed amongst their peers and can develop in a decent system headed by a decent coach.
Before we switch over to the Cubs, over or under 50 home runs, Eloy Jimenez.
I'm going to take the under on that just because Eloy has shown that he can't stay on the field for a full season yet. If he can, I think I would take the over for that all day. I just don't think that his body's going to be able to play a full season. He hasn't shown that yet.
All right, power rankings, preseason power rankings. Dodgers 1, Padres 2, Yankees 3,
What?
the Braves 4, Braves 4th,
I forgot about the Braves.
Minnesota's 5th, and then they got the
Wait,
Sox
what?
6th.
Yeah, I was going to mention the Braves.
They've got Yankees
What?
and Twins over the White Sox right now.
That is-
I
that
don't
is-
see that. I don't see that.
I don't agree with that either.
That's MLB.com, you know what I'm saying? I
The
don't know
Braves,
nothing.
maybe, but like
No,
the top 4 teams in the MLB are Dodgers. This is not in any particular order. Dodgers, Padres, Braves, White Sox. Top 4 teams.
Blake, what's your top 5 for Major League Baseball teams right now?
Yeah, I don't know about. I think the Sox are definitely better than the Twins.
I completely agree with that.
I don't sleep on the Mets. That's what I'm saying. I think they could be.
Hey,
in
I like what
Yeah.
the Mets are.
The
I like what the
Mets-
Mets are doing right now.
They're
Yeah,
going
the
for
Mets are
it.
good. The
Hey,
Mets
talk-
got Lindor and McCann now.
Talk about what I want fucking Tom Ricketts to do right now. They just got a new owner, Steve Cohen. He's like, I'm breaking the bank. I'm signing people. Get me the best superstar that you can. They got Francisco Lindor and Carrasco for pennies on the dollar. Like, that's going to be a fun, competitive team to watch.
Yep.
And I'm jealous of Met fans. Likewise with Sox fans. Like, they're going to have, like, a product that's worth watching this year. And they're not afraid to spend money, which is got to be really exciting for them.
Yep, the Mets really lucked out with Steve Cohen becoming their owner. The guy's clearly willing to spend money, and we'll see how it goes. That doesn't always work out in sports. Just ask the 2016 Chicago White Sox.
I think they're a little bit more calculated than that.
No, man, Melky Cabrera and Francisco Lindor are very comparable players if you really look at it.
Oh, yeah, most definitely.
The Milkman.
Brad, what you got going on over there? I haven't heard from you. What's your? You have any opinions right now? Let's hear it.
I kind of just mirroring and agreeing with what you guys are saying. I definitely think the White Sox are better than the Twins. I'm not sure why they're in the top 5 as far as chances to be in the power rankings for the league. I do have the Braves in there. I'm kind of surprised, Steven, you did not mention the Braves before. I was gonna
It slipped my
intervene,
mind.
but I let that go. So, the Yankees, obviously we all know how good the Yankees are. The Padres, while yes they have the best rotation, I mean they got some growing to do first. So that's a little high in my opinion. Why they should be number 2? That's pretty wild. I feel like the Yankees should be number 2.
They've got 3 aces right now.
I don't know. I think the Yankees. With
I think we all know the
DJ
Dodgers are still the
LeMahieu
Dodgers.
are just as good as the Sox. I think that's with LeMahieu. I think they're very comparable talent-wise.
I mean,
agree with
Devin, do you really think that the White Sox are going to be a competitor for the Dodgers though when it comes time?
I don't know if any team is. That's the ultimate question right now. They were last year. They were severely far and above away the best team in baseball. I don't care what anyone says. They dominated the regular season, dominated the playoffs. Nobody can take that away.
Here's the thing, though. If you can get into a series with them and you have your ace pitcher on the mound, I mean, the Rays put up a good fight for what they had. Blake Snell was absolutely shutting them down. If you can get a pitcher that's like ace material that can shut down the lineup, you have a good chance of winning that series.
Where did Blake Snell go? Didn't he get traded?
Padres.
To the Padres.
Oh my God,
Dude, the Padres
Yeah.
just traded for Blake Snell and Yu Darvish to add that to Mike
Oh,
Clevenger.
my goodness.
and
that is
Chris
going to be a rotation.
I think
That's why they're top 5 in baseball right now in power rankings.
I think
That's what
the-
they added to their offense. Blake, you're saying?
I think the Padres win the West, to be honest.
Yeah,
Darvish pick?
I don't
like
disagree with that.
It'll be close,
So-
but I got
Blake,
Padres.
You got the Padres beating out the Dodgers for first in that division this year.
I think they
I
could,
can,
yeah.
I can see
Oh,
it.
I agree with that 100%. I completely agree with that.
I mean-
just think the rotation's better.
Yeah.
You know?
Oh, yeah, it is.
I agree. Oh, I agree
Just
100%.
look at the pitching. So I mean, who's going to get you more wins? That one like 40-year-old lefty on the Dodgers, or any one of the Padres pitchers. So,
Remember, offense wins games too, boys.
Uh,
Yeah, but pitching and defense also wins games.
and also Kershaw, he can
Ask the
never
Cubs
play.
about that.
He can never play. He's always injured. Kershaw.
Who?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
and he just recently got that playoff monkey off his back. We
Right.
don't know if that's permanently off his back yet. We'll see.
Brad
see
and,
about
and
that.
Brad, to go against your thing about the 2016 Cubs, they had the best rotation in baseball and the best defense in baseball. That's part of the reason why they were as good as they were that year.
And we're out
I'm
of
saying
seven.
like nowadays, when the reason why they can't win is because they can't really score. So yeah, it's important.
It's important, but yeah, I was just going off of what you were saying in 2016.
Boys, I've got to go in and watch the Hawks game, so I'm probably going to get off.
They're down like 3 or 4-0 right now.
Are they really? Let's
Yeah.
go. First overall
Dude,
pick, here we
You have
come, boys.
Subban as your
Fast-paced.
starter against the Lightning. What the hell do you expect?
Yep. Gentlemen, this has been a very